Wow, I don't even know what's going on with this world anymore. This world is just bugging the heck out. It is just insane because it is just a frequent and abundant amount of chaos that I just continue to see all over the place. Sadness, despair, and it's like, yo, what is happening here? This episode of Forever News is going to be, of course, the stuff that you want to hear about. We got some Boruto related stuff. We got some stuff regarding Katekyo, Hitman Reborn. Never thought I'd be even saying that shit, right? But like, we got some Hitman Reborn stuff, Dragon Ball Super, Dr. Stone. We got a whole bunch of stuff. But I want to start this episode before we even jump into the intros and all of that stuff. Let's do just at the very least one small moment of silence. And the reason I wanted to do that is because we lost back-to-back over the last couple of days two very prominent voice actors in the anime industry, one of which I met a few years back, and it's just unreal to even say because one of them in particular, we just spoke about that. He recently had kind of handed in all his voice acting roles and went back home to be with his family because he was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And I hate to be the one to tell you if you haven't heard it, Billy Kometz, voice actor from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He did Josuke, and he's just been really kick-ass and awesome, and all the stuff he's done has been pronounced that he passed away. Yeah, let's read the article. I'm sorry, I'm terrible of like the way I just started this whole thing, but it's just emotional to talk about it. Yeah. Voice actor Billy Kometz passes away at 35. It is with a heavy heart that we report on the passing of Billy Kometz, a beloved voice actor known for roles like Naofumi in The Rising of the Shield Hero, Josuke in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable, and many more. The 35-year-old actor passed away on June 9, 2022 at MS Hershey Medical Center, and a viewing is currently scheduled for Wednesday, June 15th. In April, Billy Kometz shared news of his stage 4 colon cancer diagnosis. He returned home to Pennsylvania to be with his family while undergoing treatment shortly thereafter. He was blown away by the outpouring of support and love he received during his battle, from messages from fans and friends alike to donations to his GoFundMe campaign. And my heart 1,000,000% goes out to Billy Kometz's family. The one time I got to meet bro, he was pretty awesome. I told the story already, but you know, he was posing for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They had, you know, the reveal for the Diamond is Unbreakable cast, and he was the voice of Josuke. And I remember people were really satisfied with his pose, but he tried, man, and he went out like a rock star, dog. He did everything he possibly, you know, I'd imagine wanted to do. He did big roles, Naofumi, you know what I'm saying, Josuke and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it's just really saddening to bring this news to you. And then on top of that, we had another prominent voice actor, also radio host, I believe, gentleman goes by the name Jim White, recently also passed away over the last few days as well. You may know him from Fairy Tail. I believe he did Igneel and the narrator, if I'm not mistaken, and a few other roles. It says here, voice actor and radio host Jim White passes away. The Dallas Morning News newspaper reported on June 6th that voice actor and radio host Jim White passed away on June 4th to lung cancer. Again, another victim to cancer. He was 73 years old. White's wife, Vicky Briley White, told the Dallas Morning News that he was diagnosed with lung cancer April 20th and was hospitalized within the next 10 days. In anime, White voiced Igneel and the narrator in Fairy Tail, starting with second season, Marco Bellwood in Fairy Gone, Zeke's grandfather in Attack on Titan the final season, Lao Ji in One Piece, and Ieyasu Tokugawa in Basilisk the Oka Ninja Scrolls. And he did a whole bunch of other roles. He was in Black Clover. He was in a whole bunch of stuff as well. I mean, most importantly, I think it doesn't need to be said, but I'm gonna say it anyway, absolutely on 1,000% fuck cancer, 1,000,000,000% fuck cancer. And my condolences go out to Jim White's family, his wife, and it's just sad. And I'm sorry to open up the episode with this, but yeah, it was just, you know, this is important. This is real life stuff. You know, anime and manga news, that can wait. We got to talk about real life stuff where we lose people that are a part of our community, anime and manga community. Let's jump into the intro and all that stuff.
No matter how you feel, get it done. No matter how you feel, get it done. No matter how you feel, get it done. No matter how you feel, get it done.
By the way, people, make sure you hit that subscribe and that bell to get all notifications. YouTube has been suppressing the god, to say the least. Like, yo, they've been suppressing my channel ridiculously over the last, I don't know how many months now. So you help a lot with everything that you do. Clicking on this video, you help. Liking helps. Subscribing, hitting bells, all of that good stuff to kind of drag us out of the suppression. Okay, people, when we started off this episode very, very freaking heavy, and I want to bring in a little bit more of the laughs, the joy, all of that good stuff, because, yo, get the negativity out the way first so That way we could, at the very least, end off in a positive note. And let's start right off the rip with some Boruto related stuff, because I'm not even gonna lie, last, I don't know how many weeks now, it's kind of felt very extreme, probably even months, extremely dry for Boruto related news. The anime has been doing what the anime does. It feels like it's been 100,000 years since the last Boruto chapter. Is it just me, or it feels like that came out so long ago, and realistically it's only like a month, not even a month yet, so I don't know. But we got some great news, and I'm excited to say that according to this Weekly Shonen Jump issue, Boruto anime TV series will receive new information during this year's Jump Victory Carnival 2022, being held July 17th. Also, new information for Naruto's 20th anniversary will be revealed. Now, a couple of things to note with that. For starters, let's talk just quickly about what the Boruto related thing could be at Jump Victory Carnival. Well, Boruto related thing, I'd imagine probably they're going to announce like the next big thing that they're going to do with the anime. Probably either it's going to be like original arcs, or they're going to announce like, hey, we're getting more into another novel or something, we're going to be adapting something like that. That's what I'm guessing, because other than that, it's like the manga isn't even at a time skip. So if you're thinking they're going to go into a time skip, the only way would be if they said, yo, screw the manga, we're going into a time skip and we'll flash back to that shit. It's just like, unbearable or something, but I don't see them going that direction. And then with the Naruto 20th anniversary, the problem I have with all of this news in general is let's not forget that they kind of duped us very heavy at the big Jump Festa. They had a super stage for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, as well as the Naruto 20th anniversary. And for all the hoopla of them saying, hey, this is happening, hey, that's happening, ultimately what ended up happening, we got like a recap trailer of like Naruto, and it was a very, very disappointing super stage. So try at the very least, despite the fact that it's exciting, hey, some Boruto news finally coming, big announcements for the anime, keep your expectations at a minimum. I would be through the freaking moon ecstatic if at the very least we got something like, yo, we're doing another time travel arc. I know a lot of people had issues with it. Mainly, I'd imagine, from what I gathered, everybody's issues was Udashiki. He was the very, very problematic aspect of the flashback, the time travel arc where Sasuke and Boruto went to the past and whatnot. I want more of that. I would be so fine with that, them this time around going to the Madara era, even though I'm sure that Madara is going to return at some given point, probably in the Boruto's time skip. And I know probably people are like, no, that's not gonna, it's happening, okay? He's one of the most popular characters. The whole point of this thing existing is giving fans more, and Madara is what fans will want more. So maybe it wouldn't be Madara. Maybe let's go back to, early in the Leaf or something. Maybe, oh my god, a Minato childhood flashback, Boruto going back to when Minato was younger. That could be very interesting if they did it right. If they actually decided, you know what, we don't want to do these corny, terrible filler things. Let's do something really good. That could be exciting. I mean, fans have asked for a Minato prequel to begin with. That would also be a great experiment. So there's a couple of ideas. Hopefully somebody at Studio Pierrot is watching this and decides, yo, maybe we should take this dude's point. I mean, he's only been talking about this series for like 12 years and pretty much has called some of the greatest and most iconic moments of what was going to happen and how big they were going to be. Like, maybe just listen to the lad. Or you could do the right thing and, bring me in and we can work together. Definitely let me know what you think is going to be the big Boruto announcement for the Boruto Naruto Next Generation stuff, as well as Naruto's big anniversary thingy-majig. I'm like, Naruto, what really are they gonna announce? Like, yo, we got a new coloring book for y'all playing with me if y'all do some shit like that. Y'all playing heavy with my heart. But we gotta wait and see. Then let's talk about something that I am still, regardless of what, going to keep in a rumor pile, but everybody's going freaking crazy. I don't know how many people have messaged me asking me if I heard about this, what is going on, and I know you're probably thinking right now, oh god, what is FORNEVER about to talk about? Katekyo Hitman Reborn fans, in case you don't know about Katekyo Hitman Reborn, it was a big deal. Like, back in the day, there was a few select series that was like, yo, after Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach, they might be the next ones. It was Fairy Tail, what happened with Fairy Tail, and Katekyo Hitman Reborn was a part of that collective of the next ups. Now, unfortunately, Reborn never actually made it, but it was still a huge series. I love that freaking series. It lasted like, it had an anime with 200 plus episodes. The manga was like 400 plus chapters. It was a crazy, crazy run. However, the anime never got finished. It finished off the Future arc, which was an insanely good arc. I love that arc of Hitman Reborn, but there was still a few more arcs after that the manga did. What is the Shimon family? Damn, it's been a minute. But according to this big announcement, I don't know, because it says here that Hitman Reborn is rumored to be getting a new anime adaptation, and this is just one of the places. One place I saw it had been up for like a few hours and it had like 11,000 likes on the tweet. Now again, it could all just be some guy named Chris, but considering the fact, if you've been following FORNEVER News, which you definitely should, we talked about this a few months back, fact that they announced a big Katekyo Hitman Reborn committee that they put together. Obviously, it was, to get it sorted with the products and stuff like that. But considering the fact that they see the outpour of love for Bleach, they're probably, a lot of these companies are probably looking like, yo, those series that we kind of abandoned and did dirty last decade, we could bring them back and make money. Like, yeah, Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, you motherfuckers, bring it back. You know what I'm saying? Bring it back. Yeah, did Shinobu Otaka dirty, and that's why she left Shogakukan and went to Weekly Shonen Magazine. Like, you can't do the guy wrong and then just like, yo, what are you doing? And I'm kind of just curious how that would work, right? Because there's a very big difference. Like, I'm not delusional here between Reborn and Bleach. Bleach, to this day, is still one of the highest selling manga of all time. And while Reborn was a hit, it wasn't as popular as Bleach. So I'm wondering if it were to return, if this isn't just rumor, if this is maybe marketing games, marketing 101, like, yo, test the poll, see how people are feeling about a reaction to Reborn returning, how they would do it. Like, are they going to just do a big recap? Because, again, there's like 200 plus episodes of the anime. Now, granted, the anime kind of didn't really have too much filler, and the filler arcs in Reborn, honestly, Reborn is one of the few long-running shonen that had really good filler. Like, the filler actually gave you answers to things you cared about and whatnot. So I'm like, it's not like they could cut out a ton of filler. Maybe the pacing would be better or something if they was to try and do a reboot from the ground up. I would freaking love that. Cut out a lot of the daily life arc, because in case you don't know, Hitman Reborn has a lot of what feels like filler, which was basically like that the manga started off damn near like a gag series. It's like, hey, this little mafia guy shows up and he tells this Izuku Midoriya type of character. He's like the original Midoriya character, Tsunayoshi Sawada. Yo, you about to be the boss of like a mafia crew and whatnot, and he's like scared to death. And there's like, I don't even remember, like 10, 20 episodes of them just like goofing and gagging around, him getting mad and his clothes explode and stuff like that. Hopefully, if they were to do it that way, they would cut out a lot of that. However, if they decided to go the route of maybe like a recap episode, a bunch of marketing to get people, reminded about the old series, I'm gonna bet this. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna bet this. I personally feel like they're going to be putting out Reborn as a reboot anime, and here's why. Discotech Media, they're a company that they license a lot of Blu-ray and DVDs of series that probably didn't necessarily make it to where they should have. Like, they released the DVDs of Beelzebub. They released a lot of more smaller series that was still, they had a fan base, but didn't really take off. One of the things I noticed is that they usually get the license for series that, especially if there's word of the series returning, they'll get the license to the old anime because there's about to be a new adaptation of it. This is what happened with, if I'm not mistaken, Shaman King. They got the old Shaman King anime, and then boom, Netflix is like, yo, we got a new one. I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix or any of these giant conglomerates that the anime industry has become have been like, yo, we want that Reborn series, let's make a brand new one. Yeah, we don't care about the old one, it's old. The first 100 episodes is like an SD and stuff. Like, let's remake it from the ground up. That could be where they're going with it, and I would not be mad at all. Also, bring back Akira Amano with a follow-up. Let's see the days of Tsunayoshi Sawada being the Vongola boss. I want to see him as the boss. That was one of the biggest complaints, that we didn't get to see him as the full-on Vongola boss, aside from in the future arc. Like, one page would have solved all that. So I'm wondering if we're going that route. Either way, it's really, really fun to hear that something might be going on with Reborn. We know there's a committee. We know that there's a lot of backing behind it. I want that Reborn anime, and I want it now. And if it's a reboot and it's done quality and they cut out a lot of the shit that I don't care about, yeah, I'll take it. And also Yu Yu Hakusho and Magi, like, if y'all want to do. Just saying. Then I wanted to talk about this. It's not necessarily anime and manga related, but it's in the realm of nerd culture. I mean, a lot of nerds loved it. Everybody really loved it, or was talking about it at the very least. Squid Game. It has been officially announced. Squid Game Season 2 is on the way. They even got a little promo poster. It said, on your marks, get set, green light. Squid Games continues only on Netflix. Squid Game Season 2, and it has the little girl, the little statue girl that I believe it's like in Korean textbooks that they use that character for, like, hey, this is what we're explaining for like children and stuff like that. But pretty much, yeah, Squid Game 2. I'd imagine if they're announcing it, considering the big giant losses that Netflix has taken, we could probably see that here soon. Like, they probably are desperate, like, yo, all we gotta do is keep on banging out a Squid Game. We don't need all of these tiny little things. We just need a Squid Game, and we need Squid Game to come out a lot more quicker than the previous one, because the previous one took like the creator 12 years to get off the ground. But a little bit of a different story. He had to find funding and yada yada yada. But I'll be honest with you, one of the things is I definitely feel like it didn't need to happen. I definitely definitely feel like Netflix saw whatever numbers they saw using whatever algorithms that predicts things showed them, and the moment they saw that Squid Game was going to be what it ultimately became, they absolutely changed that ending to put the main character, instead of just going to his daughter, like, dog, go to your daughter. LeBron was 1,000,000,000% right. Go to your fucking daughter, dog. What are you doing? Like, I gotta stop this Squid Game. No, your daughter, dog. But then again, also there's a heroic aspect to it that I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't say I admired. I do admire the aspect of, he's like, yo, I gotta stop, I gotta put an end to this. This shit is wrong, it's evil, it's messed up, and it's still going. But it just feels like that was a last minute addition. So maybe that's my, I don't want to say indifference, because I did come across as like, yo, I hate it, no, don't bring back Squid Games. But more so, I felt like that wasn't the original intention. It was probably supposed to end, and then the last second, because like one of the biggest things is, yo, dog, he has this complex relationship where he's about to lose his daughter. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Do you want another Squid Game? Do you think it needs to happen? I mean, it's greenlit, it's coming out, they probably are in the process of filming now, or maybe they wrapped up filming. God knows where they at in the stages of it. We could probably see it end of this year, maybe early next year. Netflix is like, yo, they're bleeding out, right? They got stabbed of 200,000 subscribers. They're like, Squid Game, save me. Then all of a sudden Chainsaw Man jumps out of nowhere and just starts slashing people down. If you know the reference, then you might know the reference, my lord. I refer back to the beginning of this video when I say, what the hell is going on with this world, fam? What? Tokyo Revengers, which honestly has gotten severely quiet after I started hearing a lot of slander about, hey, the manga has fallen off and all that, yada yada. I ain't hear too much about Tokyo Revengers, but yeah, Tokyo Revengers, the criminal activity in Japan has arisen, and it kind of feels like, to a certain degree, when I hear stuff like this, right, that unfortunately there is a level of influence that anime and manga do have, and even on, you would argue, maybe children, or just in general people. I don't want to say children because this article isn't about children, but it definitely has some sort of weird thing going on, because I see this and I'm trying to find out where's there more info to this. But apparently 31 Tokyo Revenger fans were arrested for reckless driving. Now I'm trying to understand, like, wait a minute, so did they all have like Tokyo Revenger tattoos or stickers on their vehicles? Like, how the hell did they know that these 31 people were all Tokyo Revenger fans? Or it could be that it's contributing to the crime rate over there in Japan, because you got to think, yes, there is a certain level of influence. Just like, you know, your daughter want to be like, let's just say you got a kid, right, and your kid is watching X show, JoJo Siwa, whatever the case may be. They're gonna want to be like that. Now, I'm not saying that that's of the responsibility of the company that puts out that product, but nevertheless, there's influence. So Tokyo Revengers, who knows, it might be influencing, whether it be young teens, young adults, grown-ass people, to be a little more reckless. Tokyo Revengers has a certain edge to it, and it's really an awesome show. So you add all of that together, it might be pushing it towards, yeah, people are getting influenced to be a little radical over there in Japan, and that's kind of nuts, because y'all know, we talk about it all the time, in Japan, the nail that sticks out gets hammered in. So you want to go play that Tokyo Revengers shit out there, and they catch you, it's a rizzy. You better have some very, very influential parents or something, because they taking you down. You ain't Mikey, dog. This is the Tokyo Revengers where seemingly no adults exist, and all the kids are just complete brutes and savages. But yeah, I don't know, I found that one to be fascinating, and it's from a kind of credible source. So I was like, 31 Tokyo Revenger fans arrested for reckless driving. Nani sore wa? Now get cozy, because we're jumping into the top 50 best-selling manga of the week, courtesy of Jos_K, and presented to you by yours truly, ForneverWorld des. Coming in at number 50 is Volume 8 of Me and Roboko with 10,910. Now, here's the thing, right? Because in case you missed it, we talked about it in a segment recently. There's a new series in Shonen Jump that they're claiming is a big hit. It already got big reprints, all sorts of stuff, and a lot of people are saying it's really, really good. Akene Banashi. It's apparently like a stage play type of series. Think like Act Age minus the creep author that couldn't act his age. Like, yeah, they're saying it's a hit, and initially when it was released, it was outselling Me and Roboko, but in the end, clearly Me and Roboko outsold it. But from my understanding, looking at the numbers, I believe the numbers weren't far off from Me and Roboko, so it was probably like maybe 51 through 55 somewhere on the list in terms of sales of the top 50 best-selling manga. So I don't want to completely say, oh, Akane Banashi is a failure. And also you're probably thinking, well, dog, why? What do you mean? 10,000 is terrible. For a stage play manga, I guess it's just different. Like for Me and Roboko, 10,900, it might not be the greatest thing in the world, but it's okay-ish, because they're probably betting on this anime needs to hit. If this anime, because, you know, I got announced an anime, if this anime does what it needs to do, everything else is irrelevant. So that's what I'm guessing they're hoping for. Then jumping up to 47, let's do the damn thing. One Piece 102, 11.2 this week, 1.6 million. Then very interesting, Chojin X Volume 3 in 19 days at 77,000. I've noticed that numbers have severely dropped for a lot of manga. Like Chojin X started off like it was a little bit skeptical or whatever, but I remember in the end it did like very well and it broke 100k in like the first, I don't know, 3 weeks maybe or something like that, 2 weeks. Here in 19 days it's at 77,000 with sales dropping. It'll probably hit maybe 100k before it gets out of here, but definitely not as good as the previous 2 volumes sold. Then jumping up, we got some Spy Family official fan book, 12k. Fire Force's final volume, another 12k, 115. Can't wait to see what happens once that anime comes out for season 3 and it shakes shit up. 40 through 31, One Punch Man volume 25, another 13,000. Dope stuff. Tokyo Revengers 27, 13,000. Yeah, that Tokyo, I don't know if it was the cover. I don't know if Tokyo Revengers just jumped shark and people are just sick of it or something, because these volumes were doing way better. And I don't know what happened here, but this series was selling way crazy, and it's almost like the magic that it had pushing it is gone. It's very bizarre. A Villain Saga volume 26, 13,064. I cannot wait for that anime. If you saw the trailers and stuff, very, very exciting. Can't freaking wait. Then 30 through 21, Jujutsu Kaisen volume 19, still on the list. Like I said, dog, if it's not One Piece, it's JJK that's holding down Jump. Everything else is underneath. With 17,000 bringing his total to 1.6 million copies sold. Jumping up, Blue Lock, y'all know the anime is coming soon, volume 19,000. Then we got Star and Stripe volume 34. I'm just gonna call it, until we stop counting that one, I'm just gonna call it Star and Stripe volume 34, with 19,629,000 copies, so 630. Again, all of these series I'm noticing per volume are decreasing, because I remember My Hero, at the very least from what I've seen, you know, in the first month of sales, the previous volume was like at 750, at way over it at this point. So interesting. Then Witch Watch volume 6 in its first 6 days. This is a series that has lasted and jumped for over a year now. 19,000. I swear to God, it's like if your battle series, you really gotta pray and wish and hope that you sell an astronomical amount of copies, because a series that is not a battle series, I'm assuming that Witch Watch isn't really battle series, don't quote me on that, but even, you know, me and Roboko or Akane Banashi, they just look at things different. Like if you're not selling ass amounts of, you know, copies, like just ridiculous amounts, you better be a different type of series, because in Shonen Jump, you go battle, you battle for sales. That's just the reality of it. And just in general, battling for relevancy in that damn magazine. Then 20 through 11, Elusive Samurai volume 6, 24,000, not bad at all. Blue Period, even though again other series, you know, sell whatever, I don't want to get petty now. Blue Period volume 12, 24,000. Owari no Seraph volume 27, I wonder how much longer this one's gonna go. 27,000. It's definitely starting to, I feel like there's a little bit of a decline, or not a little bit, a massive amount of decline. I don't hear nobody talking about Seraph of the End anymore. Sakamoto Days volume 7, 30,000. Really awesome stuff, happy to see it. Shout outs to Sakamoto Days, awesome manga. Spy Family, you know, tearing it up in there. Again, it's like the only anime that came out this season apparently. And then top 10 really demonstrates that, because Jesus Christ, 6 out of the top 10 spots is Spy Family. That's freaking absolutely nuts. And then you got a little blue box in there, volume 5, number 5, 40,000 in 3 days. That is really good. Like, don't get me wrong, again, I feel like that's a decrease, but still, for a sports romance, that's probably going to be up. If you notice, a lot of these magazines, even with the battle series themselves, like Dragon Ball Super Heroes, they're trying to shy away from battle stuff. It's weird. It's almost as if maybe battle series, battle manga are on the decline as a whole. Who knows? It just feels like a lot of, like what Jump and a lot of these magazines are doing is pushing more towards family friendly shit, opposed to just throw some punches. Could also be because of the expansion of anime and manga in the West. So there's that. And then I'm just going to say the top 2 spots. One Punch Man volume 26 and number 2, 96,000 in 3 days. And number 1, Aoashi volume 28, 108,000, 7 days. So we're counting different things. It's weird to count, like this one got counted for 7 days. This one got counted for 3 days. Whatever. Either way, Spy Family still dominating. Some interesting stuff here. Disappointed Akane Banashi got beat out by Miroboku. I wanted to see that, like, prove a point, but whatever. And yeah, that's the top 50 best-selling manga of the week. Hope you enjoyed it, lad. Dragon Ball Super fans, everybody is talking about it. It's going crazy. You may have missed it. I talked a little bit about some of the leaks that came out with the recent stuff of Dragon Ball Super Superhero Superheroes? Well, it seems like Dragon Ball Super Superheroes is doing well. According to this, it says Dragon Ball Super Superheroes sold about 210,000 tickets on its opening Saturday. And for comparison, Broly's opening Friday sold about 111,000. So it supposedly did double. I could potentially see it solely from the fact of, hey, the fan service really got to people because it kind of changed my mind. But that also kind of feels like they say men lie, women lie, numbers don't, but the people counting the numbers might be lying, because it just, up until like maybe 5 minutes ago, who the fuck cared about this film? And maybe I'm just not really in touch with the pulse in Japan, and somebody's gonna say, FORNEV, just shut the fuck up. You know, okay, you know, you're there right now. Your fucking grandfather works for Toei or something, right? Kudos, you know everything, cool. But seriously, 210,000 tickets sold day one on its opening Saturday. In comparison to Broly, 110. We gotta see the first week though. Like, I'm not gonna get fronted out by, ooh, the opening weekend, or ooh, opening week, because that's where they put the most marketing, the most money, the most fudging of numbers. We will know by the end of week one, and definitely week two, where it's stacking up against Broly in terms of popularity. In terms of quality, I think it's gonna be unanimous that most people are gonna say, no, we prefer 2D, because I still prefer 2D. But this movie does sound like it offers a lot more than I initially thought it would. I thought it was gonna just be like, you know, Snoresville or some shit because of the 3D CG. They kind of proved me wrong with some of these leaks and stuff, so I'm very excited for August when this film comes out over here in the West. And let's wrap it up with some Dr. Stone updates, because y'all know, in case you didn't, one of the big things that a lot of people were talking about when it comes to Dr. Stone is, as of recent, Boichi, after they dragged him out of Weekly Shonen magazine, and now he's trying to run the webtoon, but he came out and said, hey, Dr. Stone is not over, and we got a slew of announcements for Dr. Stone, anime and manga related. For starters, the anime special Ryusui will release on July 10th, so if you want some more Dr. Stone anime, I want some more Dr. Stone anime, we're gonna have some more Dr. Stone anime. Then the official fan book, August 3rd, don't really care, but then there's a special chapter coming in Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 31, so if you want another chapter of Dr. Stone, there's gonna be another one. And I ain't gonna lie, this poster right here for that Ryusui special looks freaking amazing and fire. And yeah, Dr. Stone, I'm not gonna lie, man, it's just kind of weird that the way they're ending it and everything is just that Shonen Jump is going into this whole anime only motto now, because like they didn't even give it like what I felt like an impactful send off in the end and shit. I don't know, Jump is just all over the place nowadays. Yeah, people, those are all the stories we have for today's episode. Curious what you guys think. Most important story, favorite story, anything I didn't mention, and you're like, FORNEV, please let me know. That's all I have for this one. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life. Bye. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And you guys just watched another episode of ForneverNews, the only news source that provides anything and everything anime and manga related. And we don't bore you. We get into it. And the reason I said that right now is because I forgot to say it in the opening due to all the heavy nature of what we were talking about. So I figured, let's just throw it in here. Why not? Subscribe and hit the bell while you're at it. Have an awesome one, lads. You are me. What I know. So just go to find me.